Hey guys, WWE Consoles, and here is pretty much the weekly review for not just Raw, not just SmackDown, but I'll be bringing out SummerSlam as well. The review for SummerSlam. Well, pretty much a lot of people know about SummerSlam, what's happening, but I just want to share my feelings and my opinion and the overview thing I thought about it. Well, I just thought it was brilliant. I really thought it was just brilliant. Because SummerSlam was pretty much awesome, an awesome night with top three matches that I really liked. But starting off with the first one, I'm actually not sure. RVD versus RVD versus Dean Ambrose was came out with a DQ win for RVD as the Shield interfered. So I give that match about 2.5 out of 5 stars. The second match, well, I don't think these are actually in order. But I thought probably the second match would probably be Kane versus Bray Wyatt. I thought this match was the biggest disappointment, as because there was no fire involved. Well, there was fire in like at the sides of the rings, but there was literally no fire involved. No one got set on fire, obviously because of kids and PG era. But it was not very entertaining at all. I thought it was going to be a really good match, but it wasn't very entertaining. Good thing that I watched this pay-per-view live, but other than that, it was really good. It was a really good pay-per-view. Kane versus Bray Wyatt, not so much. I give that a 2 out of 5 stars, so it's probably the worst one so far. Third, Damien Sandow versus Cody Rhodes. This was a big win for Cody Rhodes as he did beat Damien Sandow at SummerSlam and actually the following night on Raw, 2 in a row. So he could be looking to a number one contender as the world champion or what. I really don't know, but he should be deserving enough to be Mr. Money in the Bank or probably a number one contender at least for the world championship. So that should be pretty good for him, and he's pretty much having a good run as a face. So I give that match a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was a good match. It was a good match. Alright, so number 4, I'm not sure actually what this was. I haven't really got these things actually in order. So wait, let me just hold on a sec. So the strongest so far the thing was kickoff because RVD was in it. So I'm really not sure what they're really doing right now because they're doing something really bad with RVD, putting him back. Would you excuse me, guys? That's my brother being an idiot. And yeah, sorry. So SummerSlam, it was a really good match, but pretty much okay. So fourth, I think it was probably Alberto versus Christian. This was a really good match. This was one of the best matches. There was a great match with Christian. Did not win. He did not win, but it was a great match anyway. Both worked really hard. Both did awesome performances. It was a really good. It was a really good match, honestly, with pretty much Christian trying to hit the spear. He did, but his elbow, I think it was his left arm, his shoulder, haunted him back again as he injured it again, and pretty much Alberto made him tap out. Pretty disappointing ending, but it was a really good match. It was awesome. It really was. So I give that match a 3 out of 5 stars. Probably the best so far. Then it was Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. This, gotta say, was just the match of the night. Even though Daniel Bryan defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship, I gotta say CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar for a no disqualification. It was about 22 minutes ish. It was a stopwatch kind of issues when I actually got the whole recording thing. It was just amazing. It was actually the beast versus the best. It was just complete to heights that I've never seen before. Probably the once in a lifetime. This is what I called a once in a lifetime. This is what I called tough. This is what I called unstoppable. This was what I called a 5-star match. A 5-star match. I give that match a 5 out of 5 stars. It was awesome with Brock Lesnar defeating Paul Heyman getting in the way, CM Punk fighting back even though he injured his leg. It was just amazing. These guys wrestled for a long time and they finished stretching kicks out, submission attempts, kind of false finishes for over 10 minutes. CM Punk sold Lesnar's offense perfectly, and Lesnar sold Punk's offense perfectly as well. Their styles completely complemented into each other's as good as you possibly could expect. This match, you got to find it and you have to watch it. It was just completely unbelievable. Bigger than Cena and Rock, better than Triple H and Brock Lesnar, better than Daniel Bryan and John Cena. It was just awesome. I really I loved it. That is what I called a WrestleMania match. That's what I called WrestleMania stuff, and it was just unbelievable, unbelievable. I give this match a 5 out of 5 stars. It couldn't have been better. Probably because I did not want a person to tap out. Did not want a person to tap out. I was kind of getting really scared of CM Punk made Brock Lesnar tap out. Paul Heyman, gotta say, you gotta love Paul Heyman. You gotta love doing his job. It's awesome. So Brock Lesnar pinning Punk, I was happy with it, but CM Punk should have pinned Brock Lesnar. I would have been even more happy. But overall, I'm completely happy with it. It's a brilliant match. Everything you needed was in that match. 5 out of 5 stars, definitely. And Dolph Ziggler and Kane versus Biggie and AJ. Good finish by Dolph Ziggler, but not really interesting match. So I give that a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Even though Dolph won, so he's back in back in the game, and he should be in the World Championship storyline. So yeah. Um, and then so yeah, the main event now is John Cena and Daniel Bryan. This was unbelievably the perfect win for a perfect future. Daniel Bryan pinned John Cena, even though John Cena had that elbow surgery. There was no excuse for that, so he cannot do anything about that. And Daniel Bryan pinned him. He kicked to the face, just knocked John Cena to the ground. John Cena was performing very, very badly. I thought it was just completely dirty the way he was. And apparently I saw actually an article about this review, and it said that John Cena wrestled in the better than we've seen him wrestle in years, and that was just disgusting. Whoever wrote that was completely false. I mean, he was just wrestling with one arm, and it was completely stupid. I mean, who would even say that for John Cena? I mean, John Cena was that was probably that was the worst performances of John Cena's wrestling career, even though he performs very, very badly every single time. Because it was just completely stupid. It was all like heel touches, you like sprinkled throughout the match. He had a hard time seeing how anyone, I mean, I would have a hard time seeing how anyone could actually deny him the respect. Because pretty much he nearly broke Daniel Bryan's neck over the top rope. I mean, Cena and Bryan had a hell of a match, but the concern was that John Cena was just performing really, really badly. I thought it was complete no 4 stars, no 3 stars, no 2 stars, a zero, a complete flipping zero. It was completely, it was just so bad, really. And yeah. But anyway, it was actually a solid main event. It was completely solid with Daniel Bryan completely doing 5 star stuff. It was WrestleMania stuff that was, but the John Cena's never actually WrestleMania stuff anyway. But Daniel Bryan was completely amazing. He was his way he kicks John Cena's face. I love the red eye. I mean the black eye that we saw in John Cena's eye. It's completely awesome, and that was because of Daniel Bryan. It was awesome. It was freaking awesome with Daniel Bryan pinning John Cena. I could not believe it. I thought probably John Cena would actually defeat Daniel Bryan as to John Cena building up that momentum, and then probably just hitting an AA. But Daniel Bryan was doing the yes yes thing and then kicked him right in the face, and I was like, that was just a smart move that was. But John Cena was just completely being bad all the time. He was trying to be a heel. He was performing like a heel, getting out of rings, doing all shortcuts. It was all really stupid. So yeah, I give that match a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would have given it 5 with John Cena performing well, but he never does. So Daniel Bryan pinning amazing. Randy Orton came in and cashed everything in. The crowd went nuts. Some people were booing, but he came in, but then he just walked out. But then Triple H did the pedigree, and I was like, holy crap! I was just completely shocked. I would probably think it would have happened, but with Triple H celebrating Daniel Bryan after winning the championship, it was kind of shocking. I was really happy because it was completely entertaining, and it's going to be awesome with Triple H being a heel after 7 years. But it was just amazing with Randy Orton and Triple H reuniting as probably Evolution or something like that. But it was really awesome. It was like a corporate team or something like that. It was really awesome, and Daniel Bryan's dreams was shattered. But yeah. So my final analysis match of the night: CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. Trash of the night was Natalia and Bray Wyatt, and also Kane and Bray Wyatt. And pretty much the final analysis was Miz saying that, opening the show and saying that there were two main events, and he was definitely absolutely right. This was a 2-match show, and one of the best matches, absolutely delivered. They throw in solid matches for I would throw in solid matches for Christian and Del Rio and Rhodes and Scott and Sandow. One of the best WWE shows in a long time. I truly felt like a show worthy of being the second biggest show of the year. It was completely better than WrestleMania. I thought it was a huge success. I would think it was much better than WrestleMania. One of the best, probably the best show of the year so far. So yeah, let's get straight on to Raw right now. So let's get straight on to Raw. So yeah, John Cena came out in the opening of Raw. Boos were just coming out of him. And John Cena said that he's leaving WWE, gives respect to Daniel Bryan, and he believes that Daniel Bryan is gonna be a legitimate WWE champion, but he's not champion, is he? Randy Orton's the one who's champion. So I didn't really know what the hell he was talking about, but Daniel Bryan shook hands with John Cena. John Cena announced that he's going away finally. The crowd were very happy. He's saying that he's leaving WWE for the next 4 to 6 months, and he wants to bring out a man who has earned his respect and the right to be called champion. Daniel Bryan came out kind of upset, but then Stephanie came out and struck her way down to the ring to address Daniel Bryan, and she said that how sorry she was for Daniel Bryan, and she said that he was deserving to be a champion. And Daniel Bryan said that Triple H used to be a rebel and the leader of DX, and now he's a corporate haircut and is a shell of his former self, and he would expect the screw job by Stephanie or Vince, but not Triple H. So yeah, Daniel Bryan looks to Stephanie and says that if you lay down with trash, you start to smell, which was completely awesome the way he said it. And Stephanie says that she will let that insult slide, but then Bryan did not care and says that if she wants to fire him, then go ahead and do it. And he wasn't really threatened at all. He would just go back to wrestling in small arenas and sell shirts out of his car. And Stephanie would say that no one wants to fire him. They're just saying that he's not an A, but he's definitely a B+. And Bryan was completely fired up and says that he is not content at the middle of the card. Stephanie believes that Bryan might need some more of an anger management classes. And Stephanie continues to talk, but then Daniel Bryan slapped the mic out of her hand, and then she walks over to get another one, and then says that he's out of control and needs to be removed. And Stephanie called it security to escort Bryan out. And yeah, he just went out and he shouted no, and completely electrified the arena with nearly every single person chanting no as well. So it was great. Give that segment, because John Cena wasn't in it and he left, I would give that segment a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'm being a little bit fair, yeah, I am. Damien Sandow versus Cody Rhodes, I give that match a 3 out of 5 stars with Cody Rhodes pinning him again, so yeah, it's pretty good. Paul Heyman says that he would forgive CM Punk and have him back if CM Punk apologizes and then they get back together, and then pretty much he just walks away. That's what Paul Heyman said, and yeah. I give that segment about a 2.5. Nothing really happened that time. I'm just going to skip all the way. Dolph Ziggler versus the whole of Shield. This was completely ridiculous with Brad Maddox announcing it because he had some issues with Triple H being a heel. So that's why Brad made this matchup. And Reigns completely catches Dolph with a vicious spear to end the match. And the winner was the Shield. And I give the match a 2.5. Alberto versus Sin Cara. This was the match where Sin Cara broke his left hand his fingers and kind of dislocated him actually. So he was actually helped at the back, but then the winner was Del Rio. And then Ricardo came up and he says that Rio is not a hero to the crowd or Latino community, and he says that he is pleased to not represent Del Rio anymore, and he claims to have a new client, and his new former announcer brings out Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam hit the entrance ramp and makes his way to the ring. He starts a fight off Del Rio, and then Del Rio just went away out of the ring and then heads up the ramp, and then Ricardo joins RVD in the ring to celebrate the beating. So I give the whole match in the segment, I give that about 3 out of 5 stars. And then pretty much it wasn't very interesting that time. Then it was CM Punk. This was the part where I just loved I loved this moment. This was probably one of the best highlights of the night, with CM Punk coming around, and then he had a little bit of difficult time putting his thoughts together. And he says that Heyman had a lot of things to say and to collect his thoughts. And then he calls out a fan that was booing him big time. He kept saying boo, boo, kept booing CM Punk, which was completely annoying because I can hear him I couldn't really hear CM Punk that much when I was watching Raw. And then he tells the fan that they can boo, but he dares them to get in. But then he dares them to get into the ring, and then Punk is all fired up as the crowd roars their approval. And then Punk calls the fan fatso, and then he tells him if he has the guts, then he should get in the ring, and then otherwise should pretty much stay in his seat like an idiot. Can't really say what he said exactly, but he was kind of swearing, so yeah, can't really say that. Punk was all fired up, pretty much that was the whole point. It was completely unscripted. I love the part. I think the fan was completely stupid, just going boo, because no one boos CM Punk, to be honest. No one does. And he was probably a John Cena fan, but yeah. Punk was considering to make the apology that Heyman requested if it would really get things back to the way that they were. And Heyman comes out on the ramp with Curtis Axel, and then Punk says that he's sorry and he only hurt Punk's arm and didn't rip it off. And then Punk is sorry that he didn't punch Heyman's face off, and he doesn't really care what Heyman throws his way. Punk will pretty much end to get to Heyman no matter what obstacles are in the way. Punk calls Heyman down to the ring right now to fight, unlike the Fatso fan at the front. And then Punk throws down the mic, and then Curtis Axel and CM Punk brawled. They were meant to have a match, but then Punk attacked Curtis Axel, but then Curtis Axel attacked an injured Punk with his leg, and then tries to break his damn leg. And I thought he would probably go away with a broken leg, but he did not. CM Punk fight back, and he completely destroyed Curtis Axel on the steel steps to doing a GTS. And yeah, pretty much that was it. Then it got a little bit boring, but then at the end, Vince, Stephanie, and Triple H all made their way down to the ring. Vince says that SummerSlam was a magnificent evening. Damn right it was. It was awesome. Triple H has a microphone and says that he thinks it's funny how short-sighted the fans can be at times. Triple H says that what he did last night was for the greater good, and he says that Daniel Bryan is good, but someone else is better than him, and the universe deserves A+, not B. Never go with B in the WWE. Well, it's been C with John Cena, so I don't really know what Triple H is talking about. So yeah, it's been C with John Cena for the past, 10 years? 11 years, so it's complete talking nonsense. But yeah, so he says that Triple H doesn't even like Randy Orton all that much, and they have a history of bad blood. But then Triple H continues to harp on the fact that he did what he did right for the fans and the business, and then the crowd chants for Bryan. Triple H says that he is going to welcome what needs to be done and put aside his personal feelings one more time. Triple H welcomes out the new face of WWE and the new WWE champion Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes out, hits the entrance ramp, and then Orton makes his way down and then hugs Stephanie, shakes hands with Vince and also Triple H, and he says that the crowd should get up on their feet for Triple H, and then that he was talking like a heel, but I loved his voice. It was suiting him exactly like a heel, just like the old times. So it was great. It was a great segment. And then Triple H says that he knows Bryan is in the building, so then he calls him out. And then Triple H doesn't want anyone to touch Daniel Bryan, so he tells the Shield to move out of the way so that Bryan does not feel threatened. Daniel Bryan appears, tries to make his way down to the ring, but then the Shield members attack Daniel Bryan. Then Daniel Bryan tries to fight out of it, and then starts doing the kicks all the time, fights his way through the Shield, but then Ambrose spears him away, and then Triple H tells him to stop, and he wants to hear what Daniel Bryan wants to say. Bryan slowly makes his to his feet as Triple H goads him, and then Bryan climbs up, makes his way to the ring, but then just as he wants to make it to the ring, Orton hits him with an RKO, and then McMahon's and RKO stand over the fallen body of Bryan, and then they raise their hands in victory as Raw goes off the air. It's obvious that it's going to be Night of Champions, RKO, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan for the championship. But it's really good that John Cena is out of the way finally, and there's kind of a new kind of a face. Not really much of a face of WWE, but only a face for about 4 to 6 months. But yeah, it's Daniel Bryan and also Randy Orton as well, as he is champion. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good because CM Punk. But I do feel sorry for CM Punk, as he should deserve to be back in the championship thing. He should just beat the hell out of Paul Heyman by next week and then go back into the championship storyline where he deserves to be. So yeah, and let's go back to SmackDown now. SmackDown, it was apparently alright. It was actually alright. I mean, not that much really happened in it, but pretty much they just recapped what happened at SummerSlam and recapped what happened at and they also recapped what happened at Raw, and boy, the fans were booing Randy Orton to hell. It was completely a heat, and it was a heat on Vicky as well. So Vicky introduced the new WWE champion Randy Orton, and well, this is what happened, pretty honest. Vicky opened the show to a lot of heat and then introduced Randy Orton. He spoke about giving us what he wanted, and it was hard to hear that he got a lot of heat because he said that he told us the truth and about cashing in his briefcase at SummerSlam. He said he was surprised by what Triple H didn't really need his help to win. He asked for our support and no chants broke out, and he said that he is the face of the WWE. Daniel Bryan interrupted and thanked John Cena for the opportunity at SummerSlam, and Bryan said it's time for the face of WWE to change, and Bryan insulted how Orton looks and said he looks pretty. He also called Orton arrogant, and Bryan said that he had to scratch and suffer while Orton was handed every opportunity. And then Bryan challenged Orton for the title by saying that he can beat him for that. Pointing to the title, he challenged Orton for the title tonight, but then Orton says that he will have to wait until Night of Champions. And then Orton and Daniel Bryan stood face to face, and he held up the title, and then Bryan hit and kicked Orton from the ring, and announced that it's going to be Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan in a steel cage match for the main event. So I'll give that segment. I mean, I can't really give any stars for anything because I haven't seen SmackDown, but I forgot to give the overall rating for the whole Raw show. For the Raw show, 19th of August, I'll give it a good 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was pretty good. It's actually, I don't know, 3.5, 4 stars probably, yeah, between that. Curtis Axel defeated Cody Rhodes, and then CM Punk chants broke out, and then Heyman cut a promo afterward, received a ton of heat, and he says that he is in pain because of CM Punk, and he moaned, and then Axel challenges him for the title for this coming Monday on Raw. So it's going to be CM Punk versus Curtis Axel for the ICC Championship. I don't really know why the titles is on the line, but it's going to be pretty stupid. It should just be a one-on-one. And then Alberto Del Rio beat Christian by submission for the armbar. After the match, Del Rio said that something about the Latinos, and which led to cheers, but he called all of us peasants and said he wants to follow the great Alberto Del Rio. And then Ricardo came out and trashed Del Rio and introduced RVD. Christian dropkicked Del Rio off the rope, and then RVD did a frog splash to the end of the segment and held up the championship belt with Ricardo. Big Show and Mark Henry are now going to be a tag team, and they defeated 3MB, and then they won by a pinfall after Show hit the knockout punch. And Darren Young defeated Antonio Cesaro because Darren Young got a lot of cheers for that because he is now living his life the way he wants it. Daniel Bryan defeated Wade Barrett in a cage match. Really good. Apparently, this was a really good competitive match with several near falls because of Daniel Bryan's involvement in this match. Would have been an awesome pay-per-view match, apparently. So afterwards, Randy Orton came out and RKO'd Daniel Bryan, and then the crowd booed the hell out of Randy Orton to end the show. It's been a good 25 minutes, guys. Probably one of the longest videos I've ever made. So yeah, check out my 2nd year anniversary of my channel. Came out last week, so check that out as well. And I'll see you guys soon. Rate, comment, subscribe. Please do give me some comments below. Follow me on Twitter at WWE Consoles, and I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, peace.